Corn School is brought to you by BASF and Pride Seeds.
Bernard Tobin here at the Southwest Ag Conference, joined now by Marion Calmer. He's a Western Illinois farmer and also the man behind Calmer Cornheads. Welcome, sir, and thanks for taking the time.
You betcha. Thanks for having me up here. It's a pleasure.
Now, you've spent some time here talking to growers, talking about 6 secrets, or 6 corn secrets, obviously growing higher producing corn, higher yields. And I guess you really started with the fact that, hey, corn is a grass, and we should grow it in narrow rows.
Absolutely. I think the last thing that man should ever do is to put corn in a row, because that's abnormal. Now it's going to compete for sunlight, water, nutrients, and we don't want it to do that. So if I'm looking for maximum yield, maximum weed control, maximum erosion control, maximum production of organic matter, it's going to be solid seeded. And our pastures where we run our cows, they're not in rows. And wheat's not in rows, oats aren't in rows. So corn, its natural environment is solid seeded.
Now, you're a big believer in testing and measuring, and you've been doing this for a number of years. And narrow row corn for you is worth $78 an acre. Tell us about that.
You betcha. So there's some years we get a drought year, maybe. We'll get a 15 bushel advantage. And if we have a perfect growing season, maybe I only get a 5 or 6 bushel advantage. But over the long haul, 12 bushel an acre is not out of the question, so that's $48 an acre. I can save one pass on herbicides, because grasses, we don't spray a lot of herbicides on them. And so I'm saving another $20, and then I can plant a little faster, I can harvest a little faster. So you add those 3 together, and that'll put us in there at that $78 an acre. And with the low price of grain that we're seeing in the States, that could be the difference between profit and loss.
Now, narrow rows, we often hear about compaction, and you say, you got to tinker with tires to make this work.
Yeah, the most lethal thing that happens to anybody, whether they're 20-inch or 15-inch, is that we start getting the corn rows interacting with the compaction. And so I like to stay on the edges of the tire track if I can. The tall, skinny tires, it is actually a smaller footprint. So I actually got more compaction with tall, skinny tires. So I stay with the bigger floater tires, quad tracks, anything with a belt, help reduce that compaction.
Now, population's important, and when you go to 15-inch rows, you're 15 on 15 square. You like 28,000 population, and you've tested against 32 and 36.
Oh yeah. So it's a specific genetics. Genotypically speaking, I mean, some hybrids are going to respond to populations, and some hybrids don't. Yeah. And this particular one that I was looking at, I was getting yield advantages all the way up to 36,000. But the math I have at my farm is I'm spending about $4 per thousand. So if I go from 28 to 32, that means I spent $16 for the seed, and I only got 1 bushel of corn. Well, I'm not going to spend $16 to get $4 worth of grain. That doesn't make any sense. So the law of diminishing returns, and every genetics kind of has that sweet spot where I'm making good money. I could increase the yield, but it wouldn't be a profitable idea.
Now, you're a big fan of nitrogen, and you basically said, hey, for every I get $4 of corn for every dollar of nitrogen, and you apply 150 pounds in the fall.
Yep. So in our part of the country, pretty standard operating procedure is we'll go in and fall apply anhydrous ammonia, a little N-Serve, corn soybean rotation, 150 pounds of supplemental N, and I can grow 250, 300 bushel corn. Without any supplemental N, I'm lucky to have 120 or 140 bushels an acre. So over a 10-year period, I've done the math and averaged it out, multiple replications, those kind of things. And the economics, I mean, some years nitrogen's higher price than it is. But at the end of the day, my rule of thumb is I can spend $1 for nitrogen and I can get $4 worth of corn. So it's huge return on investment.
Now, you don't like spending money on P&K.
Well, I do, but I don't at my farm, because I've got a problem and I don't know what it is. But again, by measuring or researching what I'm doing at my farm, I know that I'm spending, let's say in corn, I spend $100 an acre for P&K. And then I yield check that over a 10-year period. and I'm only getting $45 to $50 worth of green. And I told everybody at the meeting, I said, if you're running a gas station, you can't pay $3 for gas and sell it at $2 and expect to make it up in volume. It just won't work. And so until I figure out why P&K aren't making me money at my farm, and I'm surface applying it, and a no-tills, and I know I'm getting stratification. So I've got some work to do. So I still have another secret yet to come.
Yeah, well, Peter Johnson would say put some wheat in the rotation, but that's another story. Hey, managing residue is a big challenge for corn growers. Number 5 on your list, and you like to measure it, you like to manage it, start managing it at harvest.
You betcha. A perfect opportunity with the corn head is to do some major damage to the corn stalk. And we like to shear it into 2 halves so that we open up that pith. And that's the soft stuff on the inside of the corn stalk. Microbes like it, earthworms like it, and I, even though I don't grow pigs anymore, I'm still a livestock farmer because I've got a lot of earthworms, a lot of microbes, and so by feeding those earthworms, I got higher populations, I got better soil health, and I'm actually helping Mother Nature. So we design, and I had to do it at my farm because I was growing corn stalk residue faster than I could get it to decompose. And so I had to build a chopping stalk roll, and luckily enough, it's something that we sell, and everybody's pretty tickled with it. And so we're helping Mother Nature. Continuous corn, a chopping stalk roll can be worth 6 bushel an acre. And in a corn soybean rotation, I think 2 to 4 bushel jump in the soybean yield as well. So there's an upside to managing that residue.
Now, the final piece of your puzzle
is
getting those combine settings correct.
It is amazing. I shoot these videos on our website, calmercornheads.com, educational videos. And during the month of October, we have like 40,000 views. And my cell phone number, I always close with my cell phone number. So while I'm harvesting corn, I'm fielding 30 to 40 phone calls a day. And we all struggle with it. And I learn things from the farmers that call, and I pass some things. The number one simple, easy, no-brainer adjustment is when I'm harvesting corn, I run with the bottom sieve wide open. And then I clean the grain tank. I just use the top sieve. And I can honestly tell you, I've yet to find anybody that can tell me that there's an upside to rethreshing the corn cob. And if I let it drop below the top sieve, it's either going to go in the grain tank or it's going to end up getting rethreshed. And I don't want either one of those to happen. So why even let it drop below the top sieve? So we just clean the grain tank with the top sieve, run the bottom one wide open, let the air come up, and it's just a walk in the park after that.
Stripper plates.
Yes, setting the stripper plates on the corn head. I used to do it by, how much butt shelling, or how dirty is it picking during the day, but really, however big that stalk is, those stripper plates have got to be wider than the girth of that node on the corn stalk. And so I take a machete with me, and I just cut the corn stalk off and walk over and see if it'll fit between the stripper plates. It's just common sense, simple things that I do every day that make harvesting just a whole lot more fun than it used to be.
Hey, Marion, great presentation today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Canada. Enjoy your stay.
All righty. Thank you very much, Bernard.
Appreciate it.
You betcha.